Welcome along,
That is
weekend
unbelievable.
rounder. Oh my days.
Wow.
We're in for a great show today, guys. Well, what about the North London derby?
I'm not getting rattled.
And we're 3 points off top 4, so it's not looking too bad.
Yeah.
Foden
I'd
88,
say
Saka
that's about
87.
right,
I think that's wrong.
A nice you put your top on. You want to take it off and get the branding out? Happy birthday!
Make a wish to win the league.
I did.
How much chance will Arsenal have of winning the Champions League?
0, mate.
If we got through
Can't do it
PSV, do you think there's any chance?
No,
of we
no,
know?
no.
Hang on, let me finish.
Predictions:
2-1 Tottenham.
3-1 Liverpool.
2-0 Wolves. Chelsea to beat Man United at Old Trafford.
Still
You're in
there.
trouble if we win this game.
You better not lose on Saturday.
We beat the world champions this weekend. That makes you world champion.
We're the world champions, but you're not in a title.
This is why you'll never win the league.
6 million down the drain.
Robbie celebrating a 1-0 win. Abby Pilates instead of trophies. You'll never walk alone.
Catch us every Monday for the weekend roundup. Let's go. What do you do with yours? I do unlimited football content.
Well, I do unlimited bragging.
Well, I do unlimited swiping right.
Well, I do unlimited doom scrolling.
Well, I do unlimited sliding into the DMs.
Well, I do watching TikTok on the bus without headphones unlimited.
Oh, God.
Yes, people, you heard that right. We've teamed up with Rocket Mobile to make the mobile phone plans for football fans in the UK. What you get is unlimited calls, unlimited text, unlimited data, and 20 gigabytes a month to use in the EU, to use abroad, all for just £16 a month, plus perks, content, and other prizes that you get once you make the switch. So please hit that link below or scan the QR code on the bottom right-hand side of your screen for full details on the deal. But apart from that, my name is Dylan. Today I'm joined once again by Abby on my left-hand side. How are you feeling today, Abby?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm a little tired.
Yeah, I am as well.
Yeah, I think it's the weather.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was up late watching TV and I've been to the gym and I've been to Pilates today.
You've been binging, haven't
I've
you?
been binging. I'm in a rabbit hole. I'm in a rabbit hole for any Tell Me Lies fans out there.
I'm doing that at the moment with Criminal Minds.
Yeah, I've actually never watched Criminal Minds.
I'm deep into Criminal Minds at the moment.
Is it good?
It's really good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Maybe
really
I'll
good.
add that to the
Proper
list.
like kind of like one mystery per episode.
Yeah.
Got to solve it. Got to find the person. Got to find the.
Love that. Highly recommend His and Hers, by the way, on Netflix. Did that in a night as well. Very
All
good.
in one night?
All in one night.
That's actually a crazy. binge
It was
for me.
so good. Bear in mind, I'm a type of person that never used to watch series, really. Never used to watch TV, couldn't sit still. And now I'm like so locked in.
So locked in.
So unbelievably locked in. It's all I can think about.
You got any shows you're watching, Ben?
I was watching, The Boys. There's like a spin-off
Yeah, yeah.
of that, so I've been watching that
Oh
recently.
yeah, that's the one where
Gen V or
Gen
something.
V,
yeah.
Oh,
Really
well, The
good.
Boys season 5's coming out soon.
Yeah.
Have you ever
Yeah.
seen The Boys?
My ex was watching it, so it was kind of like when it was on in like it's not something that
On in
I
the
would.
background.
I wouldn't necessarily pick to
thoroughly
watch The
recommend
Boys.
it. It's a
But I've
ridiculous
seen
TV
bits
show.
of it, and I was like, what on earth is going on?
You got to get
It is.
you got to get over the kind of the
Weirdness of it.
the insaneness of The Boys, and then
I started something else
Pinnacle of
actually
TV.
called Absentia on Netflix, and I only watched one episode yesterday, but that has me hooked as well. I actually can't wait to go home and watch it.
yeah, there's
Watching so many
I'm
things
also
right now.
I'm so obsessed with everyone on Apple TV as well at the moment to see so many streaming services out there. But what I'm be doing tonight is watching.
We are watching football, but
We're
I
watching
am
football.
gonna watch Netflix as well. Can't lie.
both. What dual screen?
Dual screen.
Dual screen.
Just so I can see
But
what's going on.
I want to start on by touching. I know we'll get on to the Arsenal Chelsea game, which
Yeah.
is later this evening. But I want to start with last night's game, because last night's game was one of the most ridiculous set of like VAR not want to taking blame. I don't know if you've seen what happened in yesterday's game.
No, I haven't.
I thought it was utterly meant. So what it was Erling Haaland was standing potentially like a millimetre or so offside, and they took 5.5 minutes where the referee was like, is it offside? Then it went to VAR. Then VAR were trying to work it if it was offside or not. And then it was at the VAR were like, is he interfering with play or not? And then the VAR then couldn't decide it, so then went back to the referee afterwards. It took 5.5 minutes.
So quick then.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's getting quicker and quicker.
5.5 minutes. It was.
I actually didn't watch the game last night. I can't lie. Tell Me Lies came out, so I don't know exactly what happened in that. But all I can say is that we talk about this so often about VAR, about how long it takes. If it's not clear and obvious, which is the point of VAR, then why do we use it in that sense?
I found it mad.
It's meant to be for
Yeah.
decisions that are clear, obvious, the referee or the linesman has missed. And when you just keep adding to it, like, if it can't be that deep, like, it can't be.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean-
was it the correct decision at the end?
Probably not. I don't think so.
It was. It's hard to even say if it was. This is what I mean. Like, so the ref gave it as a goal, and I'm like, if you're taking 5.5 minutes to make
Yeah.
a decision, it's not clear and obvious. And if it's not clear and obvious, just give like. I think there should be some sort of like.
Just give the advantage.
Just give the advantage to the attacking team.
I know. I do agree with that. I think that we've gone so far away also from what VAR is meant to be.
Yeah.
Over the years. I remember when it first came in, and I was very much like, I'm here for VAR. They tried it obviously in the Champions League first. I'm not even just saying it because Spurs were very beneficiary of it when it first came in, but I think that there is things that, like, something will happen and the rule will change, or if it's not clear and obvious, and it takes so long, and I hate the fact that you can't celebrate a goal anymore. Like, you've got to look over at the ref, or you've got to look over to see if they're checking it. Like, football and sport in general, I always feel balances itself out over the course of a season. Things go for you, things don't go for you, but you will get decisions here and there that will, when it might not be right,
Yeah.
etc. And I feel like it's just taken, like, the spontaneity out of football, out of the game we love. Like, how annoying is it that you can't celebrate without looking like an idiot in case it gets ruled out?
Yeah.
Or you got to. I just don't like it. Like, I think the game was better personally without VAR.
Yeah, I enjoyed the. I know we got knocked out of it, but I enjoyed the FA Cup third round.
Yeah.
Like no VAR. There was a goal line technology was there, but they had like no semi-auto offsides. I don't think. No VAR, no nothing. It was just like that, and it was the games were so much smoother.
So much better. Like,
were so much
just,
smoother.
Just so much better. I know they're never going to get rid of it at this point. I remember obviously a few years ago when Wolves were fuming about decisions that went for them, and they went to like a vote, and they were the only ones that ruled it out. And I still can't believe that they were the only ones that didn't want it.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised by that. But I think if you went back and looked at VAR before, I know we were all moaning for it and the quality of referees. The quality of referees hasn't changed, guys.
You know,
it's the
I
exact
genuinely
same.
think it's gotten worse.
It has, because
It's
now
the
they're
safety net of
because
VAR,
now
isn't it?
they
They don't have to make the
It's gotten worse.
decision.
Yeah.
It's got so much worse.
And the only thing I would say is that we have started to see some referees stick with their on-field decision.
Really?
Very
You
rarely.
never see it. That's
It's
my problem.
very rarely. But I think that the quality of refereeing is the bigger problem. Like, at the end of the day, if you're doing something in a van at Stockley Park or wherever you are, I just feel like it's meant to be black and white, and it's not. It's still very grey. And introducing that, it's not the technology itself, it's the fact that it is still people moderating it. You know, it should be something that is so clear, so obvious. It should be something that is not influenced by another human, because otherwise what's the point of having the referee?
I think the concept is a good one. It's just the way it's been implemented
Yeah.
isn't working. Do you think we were both in agreement that was the wrong decision last night, even as wanting Newcastle to win? Because I wanted Newcastle to win, and I still think letter of the law, technically it's correct, but
It was because what was it? Was it ruled out for offside?
yeah, offside, because he was but he was offside, interfering with play.
was he interfering though?
It was
It's subjective, really.
He was sandwiched between the Newcastle goalkeeper. It was Erling Haaland.
And
He
Yeah.
was
Chow.
sandwiched between Chow and whoever was in
Nick
Newcastle,
Pope.
Nick Pope. So it's kind of like you could be interfering with play, but
Yeah.
it's like they've just like got a grapple of each other, and the Newcastle defender's basically holding him there at the same time. You know,
It's
as
a
how
bit
you know how
of a-
people just
it was
It's just a bit
50-50
it's a
really.
bit 50-50.
and it was like he was that far offside and
Yeah.
also about that far from the goal line.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even, he didn't score. It was Semenyo that scored a lovely flick on with his knee.
Yeah.
We can talk about Semenyo in a second because it's annoying me how good he is. But it was just the whole thing. Like, if it takes 5.5 minutes, bin it off, man.
I
There
agree.
should be a time limit. There should be like a 90-second timer where it's
make
like
a
if you
decision.
can't come to a decision in 90 seconds and you can't with confidence go yep or no. We didn't even see the offside lines for about 5 minutes. Like the offside.
Yeah,
as well.
I think they were trying to determine whether he actually was impacting the play
Yeah, because
before
you
they
can't-
drew
you-
the lines. So
it-
that's
yeah.
why it took forever. But
And it was just, and then the VAR looks at it and then goes back to the referee, and the referee talks to VAR, and the VAR
and
talks
then,
to the
they
referee
sent it to
again.
the screen as well.
Yeah.
So
And then 9 minutes added time, then City score again in the end of extra time anyway.
Yeah.
Like,
Ah.
but then Pep Guardiola, by the way, went mental in his post-match interview. He was banging on about like old penalties they haven't got at Newcastle before. But what he has done is he's guaranteed that Man City are getting nothing against them on the weekend.
No, basically. As
So
soon
on
as
the
you
week
call
at Old Trafford, City are now getting every single thing in their favour. I remember Frank Lampard doing it a few years ago before us in in an FA Cup final. He 3 days before the FA Cup final, he complained about refereeing decisions, and then Chelsea got everything, and we lost the thing. So I'm a bit worried about that. But like to speak on like City, do you watch the game last night? Yeah, you did watch the game last night. Obviously, you are in the other half of this semi-final tie. But Manchester City, like talking about the league is one thing because you have a 6-point lead and you're comfortable on top. But in this cup competition, how worried are you about Man City heading into trying to win your first trophy in 5 years? Considering they've got Semenyo. Semenyo's got 2 goals in 2 games and one that shouldn't have been ruled out. Well, and he's also got an assist because he got an assist. I know it's Exeter and Newcastle, but how worried are you, Ben, about Manchester City? And do you still see yourselves as favourites of the Carabao Cup?
I think, well, you've got to concentrate on Chelsea first because it would be naive of me to talk like we're already in the final against Man City. But obviously you'd expect Man City to go through now, especially with that 2-goal advantage to take to their home leg. I wouldn't say I'm worried. It depends. I was trying to look when the final... Do we know when the date of the final is? Is a couple months away? Because you expect them to have Ruben Diaz back by then, which is obviously going to be a big boost if they do make it to the final. I wouldn't say I'm worried. I think Semenyo could certainly
22nd of March.
Yeah, so you'd expect them to have those injured players back. That obviously we don't know who will be fit and who won't be fit at that point in time. That's assuming
really late.
It is quite late.
I swear it
is
used to be
always in February.
mid to
I
end
think.
of February.
Yeah.
Normally.
Was it March last year?
Well, we won it on February 26th.
Yeah, I think
couple
it's
years ago.
Yeah, it's usually Feb, but it's obviously just got later. Maybe to do with the new Champions League, could be why. Obviously, well, it's not so new anymore, but this year and last year.
Maybe.
Obviously, since it's come in,
That's
like the
so
group
away.
stages don't obviously until the end of Jan, so maybe that's why.
Yeah.
If I had to place a bet on it.
Hear it, but still, okay. So, but we talk about we can talk about the game. The game coming up tonight is like Moise Caicedo is suspended.
Yeah.
Cole Palmer. What was it, Ben? You were talking about Cole Palmer and his potential of being suspended or not being
Let's forget
suspended.
the
Sorry,
quote.
injured or not being injured. Was it that Rosinia basically hinted that he'll be suspended?
So the quote was, I've had a really good in-depth conversation with Cole. I've had a really good in-depth conversation with the medical team. We're at a stage in the season where I think we have another 8 games in 3 weeks. So it would be crazy for me to risk any player in this phase of the season, which, judging off that, you wouldn't expect him to start. But I mean, on another hand, it could be mind games or that sort of thing. But you would think that he's not going to be involved, or at least certainly not starting, would be the assumption.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why Arsenal shouldn't win this game, personally.
Yeah, well, I was saying to you earlier that it's seven games on the bounce at Stamford Bridge that Arsenal haven't lost. And the last time that happened was in the whole Invincibles period. And also they haven't beaten us since Lukaku was at the club, and that was in 2021 when Pablo Mari and Rob Holding started as centre-backs that day for Arsenal, which was a very different Arsenal back then, really.
Crazy work. We've
got a pretty good record over the last few
don't
years,
love
and
to see
Arteta,
that.
I believe, hasn't lost to Chelsea yet in his managerial career, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, his managerial career is only about 5 years.
Well, yeah, it's still a long time for Chelsea to have 0 wins against Arsenal, isn't it? That's like 10 games
Is that
or so.
0 wins at all?
I think so. I could be wrong. We'll see. The comments will tell me if I'm wrong. But I don't think that Chelsea have beaten Arsenal. Actually, no, there might have been one when Tammy Abraham scored at the Emirates, actually. I think that was like 2019. That might have been the 1-1. We were 1-0 up and we lost 2-1.
Right, that was right at the beginning of his career.
Again, Tammy Abraham and Chelsea. That tells you how long ago it was.
I don't know. I still don't know what to make of Chelsea. Like I really, because I look at Man United at the moment. I'm thinking, okay, we want to get top 4 or top 5 if top 5 becomes available.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, okay, Arsenal have it, Villa have it, City have it. So there's 2 spaces left for Liverpool, us, Chelsea, and then whoever else may be competing for the Champions League spots at the end of the season. And I think, we can definitely beat Chelsea to it, or we can definitely beat Liverpool to it if, we just play some decent football. I got to get our best players back from AFCON and injury and everything. But at the same time, because of Rosinia's come in, I have no idea how they're going to play. Obviously, they won their first game. Was it 5-1?
Yeah.
I think Chelsea won in the FA Cup.
Yeah.
FA Cup on
They
the
were playing
weekend.
Charlton, but yeah.
Yeah, and this is what I mean is they played Charlton, and it's like I don't know what to make of Chelsea. Like, do they have the quality to just if Rosinia can get them playing some decent football, playing through or not? I find Chelsea so hard to figure out.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, because also you think Cole Palmer's amazing, but suddenly Cole Palmer's done nothing in about 18 months.
Well, I think at the minute it's very hard to kind of judge what Chelsea are because of, especially over the last month or so. You know, if we go back to when they played Arsenal, we were talking about are Chelsea potentially in a title race under Enzo Maresca after that level of
I remember
performance.
saying that 2 seasons in a row.
Yeah, we
First
have
season
been.
as well. We said something
Yeah,
like that.
I think with Chelsea, like, because there's so much chaos that goes around that club, like from board level to just on the pitch, off the pitch, all of the above, it's very, very hard to get any type of actual consistency. They've got a young squad for the most part. They've got a lot of what's the word? Not behavioural issues, but yeah, behavioural issues.
Discipline.
Thank you. That was the word I was looking for. They've got discipline problems. The fact that, you know, you've got players that are, I think they've got, 7, 8 red cards already this season, if I also include Enzo Maresca in that.
Yeah.
Again, they've had another managerial change. Yeah, like, I think that is so close for whoever's going to get that 4th, potentially 5th spot as well. Even well, I think we assume Liverpool might be able to get 3rd. I don't know. But whoever from 2nd down is kind of like a free-for-all. Like, it's whoever can be consistent and put a good run together. And actually what we're seeing in the Premier League this season is no one is really capitalising to either close the gap and make it tighter to Arsenal if you're Manchester City or Villa currently. You're also seeing the fact that teams like a Chelsea, they're always getting someone sent off. They've got so many changes in terms of managers. We don't know what a Liam Rossini team is necessarily going to look like at Chelsea either. So I don't know. But Chelsea at home, I always thought this would be a 1-1 draw, to be honest with you.
Another one.
Yeah, I did. I thought that this would be 1-1 on the night, go back to the Emirates, Arsenal smoke them.
Yeah, but Chelsea might have 11 minutes. I mean, Chelsea fans, well, at least one Chelsea fan invading the chat. But also, Boston Gun says, Chelsea players have an average age of 24. They're not kids. I would argue that 24 is young.
20 and average age is young. Like, it is young.
Yeah, if the average age of your squad is 24, it means at least half your squad is 23 and under.
Yeah, I think
23 and under. Like, there's a reason under 23s used to exist.
I think they've got the youngest squad in the league.
They do.
They do.
So their average age is 23.9 years old. That's that's the youngest, only to Rosinia's last club.
Strasbourg. Yeah.
Their average age is 21.9 or 21.8.
Which is super young.
So yeah, so that squad is super young. He's done well with them.
Yeah.
And he's gone from the youngest squad in the league to the 2nd youngest squad in the league.
Yeah.
Or in Europe, in like the big 5 leagues.
I think it's very hard to make a judgment on what Chelsea are. We know that they're definitely not capable of being in a title race because it's never sustained. They get close and they tail off.
Score for Chelsea against Arsenal.
Delap fit tonight.
Does Delap done anything?
João Pedro? No, not really.
He was good when he came on against Man City.
I think he scored 1 goal. But again, that's the other thing. Should they have kept Nicholas Jackson? Like, all of us for the last couple of years have been
really
on
the
the back
answer,
about
though, is he?
Nicholas Jackson and taking the mick out.
Well, to be fair to Matisse, he said from minute 1 he didn't he say that he
didn't really want him to.
Sorry,
Yeah.
not Matisse to go.
Didn't want Nicholas Jackson to go.
Jackson to go.
I think that's the thing. There's again, they've got quality in people like a Cole Palmer. Obviously, João Pedro and Neto kind of do Chelsea fans' head in as well about, you know, taking
and
shots
Garnacho.
and Garnacho.
Has been...
Gittins
hasn't
been what they expected Jamie Gittins to be. Delap, again, he's quite raw. He's quite rough around the edges. I don't know. So I think they lack that. We have to stop doing this thing where we compare it to Chelsea of old. This is a completely different regime. It's a completely different team. It's a completely different way that it's run. Chelsea is not a win now club anymore. It focuses on youth. It focuses on flipping talent,
turnover.
Like, and you've got, you know, non-footballing people making footballing decisions, which is why it is such chaos at Chelsea. So everyone's got to change their expectation and move the goalpost from what we remember Chelsea being over the last 20 years. It's not the same club anymore.
Yeah, I just can't see them scoring tonight. I know now I've said that they're going to put 3 past Arsenal.
They're not bad at home. Like, look, let's just see. Also, Arsenal,
but then at the same time,
Arsenal
they've
are
not beaten
conceding
Arsenal at the Emirates. At Stamford Bridge. For
I don't necessarily think they win
games, I
tonight.
believe.
But what I'm saying is, I think at home, that, you know, I'll be honest with you, the Chelsea Arsenal game back in beginning of December,
were poor, to be honest.
Arsenal were really, really poor. If it wasn't for the fact that Caicedo got sent off, Chelsea would have won that game. I said that at the time. Chelsea looked so up for it. Chelsea looked hungry. Reece James had the most unbelievable game. Caicedo was great, hungry for it. And again, they were the makers of their own downfall, going down to 10 men. So,
But how many times have they done that this season?
well, exactly,
So
and that comes back to being, ill-disciplined and making sure that they start to grow up on the pitch. There's certain times you've got to keep your head. So yeah.
Maybe. I mean, that could be number one thing that Rosinia needs to fix. Is all these yellows and red cards going around all the time, right?
But I don't think any of us can make a judgment on him yet. We haven't even, Charlton's not a good sample size.
Yeah, that's really, really true. Yeah, I'm intrigued to see how it's going to go because it's so.
I think Chelsea got 5 red cards this season, which is more than double the amount
Yeah,
of
well,
any side.
I mean, you see, Matisse keeps doing a every time they get a red card, and I've seen him in that week. I've only seen him on Matisse's Instagram. Like every time they get a red card,
I
he
know.
films another thing of day 41 without getting a red card. And even though Matisse has even less hair now.
Exactly.
Yeah, but Rosinia feels. It might just be PTSD from my part, but it feels so Amorim.
Yeah, it does.
It really feels like the way that he's speaking, the way that he talks about his playing career versus managerial career, and what he is as a guy, and how open and honest he's being so far. He may do better. He's going to do better than Amorim because it's very, 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 very hard to do worse than what Ruben Amorim has just done at Man United.
Yeah.
But I do. In the same way we were talking about yesterday about when we were talking about what kind of manager that I want at United.
Yeah.
I feel like with Chelsea it should be someone who has a little more experience or is a little more understands the nature of the job or the nature of the beast in football.
Yeah.
Which I feel like you can't do in your first few years of management. You only understand that once you've done it for 10, 15 years. As with any job. Like I said, the only exception there's been in a long, long time is Mikel Arteta. But that is because he was given so much scope and so much freedom and rope in the opening years at Arsenal, 8th, 5th, and then they kicked on.
Yeah.
I feel like unless Chelsea are going to do something like that with Rosinia, which I really doubt.
They haven't given anyone that time.
They've not given anybody that time.
But again, if it's someone that's more like a yes man.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It sort of seems to be the same problem with the Chelsea ownership as the Man United ownership, in the sense that they want a yes man or someone that will go with their decision making, and you're not going to get an elite manager if that's the sort of Pep Guardiola wouldn't go somewhere where he's being told what to do by those above him. No, neither would Klopp in that time.
Yeah,
at Liverpool.
but they've built their reputation. They've built the ability to be able to demand that kind of stuff. Like Pep Guardiola is one of the greatest managers of all time. So when he walks into a club, he goes, "I definitely know more than you because I'm one of the best in ever. You're not. You're the director."
Yeah, if you want a proven winner that is actually going to take Chelsea from competing for top 4 at best, which they can't seem to get that kind of level of manager in now, then you probably you're not going to get that with someone that won't be able to make the decisions that they want to make, is the point I'm saying.
To be fair, I agree with you. It's a flawed model. I think it's the way that I'm saying this both in terms of Chelsea and United, because it is quite similar the way the two clubs are wanting to set up. I do think it's so flawed because it might work in 15, 20 years time. Yeah. Maybe not that long, maybe in 10 years time and stuff. But right now, if you want the best managers in the world, you have to let them be managers.
Of course.
And if you're one of the biggest clubs in the world, you need one of the best managers in the world. And the people who will accept the coach role over, because football is expanding, and there's so much responsibility that it is true that you need 6 or 7 people to manage a first team, right? You need a head of recruitment. You can't rely on a manager for recruitment anymore. Yeah. You need a director of football. You need all the various other roles that there are within a football hierarchy. You need a CEO of a club, whereas 25, 30 years ago, you didn't necessarily need a CEO. It was still the manager. Yeah. End of the day. But I feel like manager is still, if you want Antonio Conte, Thomas Tuchel, you want Luis Enrique, you want all these amazing managers, you can't have the model that these clubs, United and Chelsea, are trying to employ. Because the only way you can do that is if you go and hire a young manager. Yeah. But then if you're trying to compete for Premier League titles, hiring a young manager doesn't.
It takes time.
You have to then give it 3 or 4 years.
Well, that's the thing. It's a results-based business. So if you've got a young manager who might, be figuring out, learning on the job. In fairness, Enzo Maresca had a mixed bag of results, but he still actually had delivered, obviously, Conference League and
he delivered 2 trophies.
Delivered 2 trophies and what's it called? Club World Cup. So. Again, it wasn't down to results. It really wasn't. It was down to the fact that he called out the board. And now we're seeing a pattern with managers who are not happy or have been missold or over-promised and under-delivered. Instead of them sitting there and staying, well, what am I going to stay here for? I'm gonna get out while I can, because they're making it so difficult to work with these people that are running the club. And I think that unless you have the benefit of when you're at a lesser club of making mistakes. Like, we can take Thomas Frank as a perfect example, right? Him at Brentford, again, goes under the radar because no one really cares. No disrespect to Brentford or their fans, but no one really cares or bat an eyelid if Brentford finish 15th.
Those outside Brentford.
Outside of Brentford, yeah. Like,
not don't care, but don't know.
It's not gonna be a shock to the world if Brentford were to finish 15th, with all due respect, right? But you then step up to a club. I appreciate what will be coming next. Tottenham finished 17th last season. I'm aware of that. But what I'm saying is the scrutiny is always going to be far more on a bigger club than it would be. And if you've got a manager who is making a step up, like Graham Potter tried to do, or someone like a Thomas Frank is trying to do, you either have to back that person and you have to ride the wave while it is really, really shit, like kind of Arsenal did with Mikel Arteta at times.
Yeah. I mean, one of the super chats here, Just Waffling 2160 says, difference at City and Arsenal is you can tell they have owners that actually prioritise winning. Chelsea lost that when Roman Abramovich left. Rest of the clubs are just billionaires playgrounds.
Correct. It's very
That's
correct.
exactly
It
how
felt
I
like that at
feel.
Arsenal
However,
for a while as
but
well, to be
exactly.
fair.
Yeah,
You-
and then
you didn't have that.
your fans made it known. They went, we're not taking this anymore. They were leaving the stadium. They were empty seats for years, both initially to get Wenger out, but then again when you were like, you guys need to fix up. They did fix up.
But whether or not that Usmanov and whatever, and the Kroenkes decided, like Usmanov going and the Kroenkes actually deciding to manage your club like a proper team, was caused by the fact that the Emirates had no fans or not. It probably was down to what they wanted to do. Like,
well,
at the
I
end
think
of the day,
as well the fact that we
people-
dropped out the Champions League is harming their pockets.
Lack
as
of
well.
revenue. It won't. I don't really think that any massive club or any billionaire owner really cares about the fans. I'm sorry. Maybe. Do you know what? And I actually would argue, maybe Roman Abramovich did actually a little bit.
Oh, Roman Abramovich.
I think he definitely did, but I think it's quite a rarity to have an owner that actually is bothered by fan opinion.
I think as well, Abramovich, obviously, Chelsea was also his baby, wasn't it? Also, like, well, obviously Chelsea existed well before Roman Abramovich, but the Chelsea that we now know today, the Chelsea that were competing for Premier Leagues, winning Premier Leagues, the Jose Mourinho Chelsea, and before that and everything. Yeah. That was also Abramovich's. That was his project, his baby. So he cared a lot,
and put a lot of money
about
into
the success of it, which is what this is what the super chat talks about. Is that Roman Abramovich was so. That's why he cared so much. Yeah. Because he cared about the fans, and he was a fan. Like when I hear Sir Jim Ratcliffe at the moment going on about, I was born in Oldham, I know what it is, and like I was willing to see him come in because I was thinking, it's going to be a big change and something. 2 years down the line, I'm like, when I remember thinking back to when it was just, but the guy owns a season ticket at Chelsea. Like I know he's not a Chelsea fan, but he just does that because he can, because he's a billionaire. Yeah. And then it just obviously the Glazer family sat in the US. To be fair, they aren't lining their pockets anymore, I don't think, with the dividends and everything, but they have been for the 18 to 20 years, plus the 700 million to now £1 billion debt that's on the club. Like it does, like the way that Arsenal fixed up is what I'd say maybe not as much Chelsea need, but definitely what United need at the moment. Like there's a lot of at 5 o'clock today, there's been a lot of kind of noise around demanding change after the whole Ruben Amorim thing. Our shortest season in 111 years. Yeah,
it's been
111
it was what, 1914,
since we last
15.
played And the reason that happened was because a global war broke out.
It doesn't make for good reading for Man United fans.
I don't want to get too bogged down in this as well. But I do want to talk about Antoine Semenyo and what he's doing at Man City in the last couple of games. Obviously, his first 2 games. Yeah. He's got 2 goals and an assist. You couldn't ask for a
unlucky
better
not to have
week.
another goal as well, as we
discussed. I think he should have 2 goals and 1 assist in his first 2 games. How are we feeling about Man City, especially you, Ben, now that they've got Semenyo and he just looks so damn good?
Well, I think it will certainly help them in the title race this season. I mean, it's a massive boost. I think they need some depth at centre back with Gvardiol and Ruben Diaz out. So they're looking at Guehi. I'm very much hoping that he stays at Palace till the end of the season, because Arsenal have also been linked with trying to get him as a free agent in the summer. Yeah. But So he's certainly going to help them in terms of the goals, because Foden's goals have dried up a bit recently. Haaland as well dried up a bit until Exeter anyway. And yeah, we all know his ability. He's a fantastic player, and it certainly will help them pile the pressure on Arsenal this season.
I do think you're going to have to really, what's the best word for it? You're going to have to really, concentrate on yourselves here. I think that's the only way that Arsenal need to both win this league title and also win the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
Because I think Man City, with all due respect to Newcastle, Man City will be in that final.
You'd
Man
think
City
so,
will
yeah.
be, and they'll
You
be
would think
waiting
so.
for you. And in a couple months' time, if Man City can get, as you said, in the next few weeks, like Gvardiol may be coming back. Well, not too sure on Gvardiol because I think he's got it's a
quite
leg
long
break,
term,
isn't
yeah.
it? But like Ruben Diaz is back in 4 or 5 weeks, which will be in time for the final. And then you talk about Mark Gay. What I think Man City are doing is they're going to want to kind of keep winning, etc. now in the next couple of weeks and build themselves back up again, and then go to Mark Gay in the final week of the window and go, you can join us now. We're going to do something. We'll potentially give you a Carabao Cup trophy within months of your arrival. We're going to be looking at this Premier League title.
If they got him, I would be worried about that. But yeah, Ruben Diaz says here 4 to 6 weeks, which is obviously quite. Because I was looking at surprisingly they stopped. It was the first time I think all season that Newcastle hadn't scored a goal at home. Which you're looking at that Man City starting 11 especially the back four. You wouldn't have thought that would be the case, because it was quite in terms of the squad they usually have at their disposal. It was quite a weak back four, really.
Yeah.
And yet Newcastle, Trafford made 1 or 2 good saves, but they didn't really overly threaten them for most of that game last night.
Yeah, and elsewhere in football as well. Conor Gallagher confirmed.
Yeah, signed, sealed,
He's there.
delivered.
I didn't realise it would be that quick.
Well, they
It was
need
like
to get
that.
someone in. I mean, why not? For once, we didn't seem to dilly-dally on it. We said, okay, let's go get him and sort it out. Fairly straightforward deal to be done. I assume he comes straight in, to be honest with you. I hope he comes straight in. I saw something this morning that was Ange really wanted him and Daniel Levy wasn't interested.
He's been linked for quite a while, hasn't he? 'Cause
Been-
I remember
he
there
was-
was
he was-
expressions
he-
getting really mad
he-
at Fabrizio, that clip.
He was linked before
Yeah, I saw that.
before he went to Atletico Madrid. So, and that was at the time. I think if you, like we said yesterday, if we run the tapes back, you'll see me sitting there saying that I thought that he was a really good player for Spurs, and I think he was actually exactly the type of player profile that we needed.
And who says Abby doesn't know ball? Who's saying that?
I don't know. Don't care either. Yeah. So I think, yeah, like obviously he comes straight in. I don't know. Again, I was doing Inside Spurs yesterday. I don't actually know who is fit, to be honest with you. Obviously, there's no Bentancur, there's no Kudus, all the other injuries, etc. Don't think Richarlison's fit. I don't know. I think they're aiming for Berg.
Richarlison's injury? Because it was he just pulled up with a
Strain.
hamstring, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Is it? Do we know if it's anything of actual significance?
I don't know at the moment. I'm not
See
entirely
if we
sure.
can find
I
out.
think they're aiming for Bergvall to be back, but I don't think he'll start. So I think you're looking at a midfield of Polinia and Conor Gallagher with Xavi in there as well. And then probably Tell, Odeberg, Colomwani, because we don't really have any other options.
I'm just surprised. Was it Gallagher turned down Aston Villa to go to Tottenham?
Live in
So with the
London.
current state of
So this is something we spent a lot of time talking about
Yeah.
yesterday, actually.
Okay.
And what we spoke about was that it came around the broad topic of what Abby Kenya and I were saying is that to a certain extent, Newcastle and Villa are going to find it hard to ever break into the big six, and also for Spurs, no matter how bad they get or how bad they've been.
They'd
in
always
the
be the
last 18
like
months.
the third choice out of those three in London, but
It's if all the teams are in London, but it's because Spurs are in London. Like ultimately, like, part of the reason Conor Gallagher wanted to come back was because Conor Gallagher was just like, I want to stay in London. I want to live in London. I want to just go back to London, because obviously Chelsea boy. He was at Chelsea. Even his loan, he went to. He was at Charlton,
Yeah.
a London club. Then he went to Swansea,
Palace.
then Crystal Palace, that London club,
Oh, I forgot
Chelsea.
about- yeah,
then he's
Palace,
gone to
yeah.
Madrid, which personally I don't know if you guys have ever been to Madrid. Personally, I thought it was fantastic. I loved being there when I went there on holiday. And he's come back and he's gone, all right, Birmingham, competing for Champions League spots, or starting every week living in London.
Plus, he's got a
London.
fiance, like he's got family. Like, look, there's so many personal reasons
Yeah.
why a player would pick a club, but for sure, I mean, it would be a pull of. You certainly wouldn't be coming to Spurs
on the pitch reasons.
on
at
the pitch
moment.
reasons, yeah, and being inspired by Thomas Frank. So it leans me towards that is a London choice.
Yeah.
But I'm happy with the signing. I just think we need to start doing some more. We need to start
Yeah.
doing some stuff in attacking areas.
What do you think is realistically actually still viable for Spurs the rest of this window? Like
What to
because-
bring in?
Are they linked with
Well, yeah,
anyone
but
else
as
at
in,
the
we're not even
moment?
necessarily how are there funds available?
Apparently, there's funds available. I hear it every single year. War chest.
But the thing is, so far it's been you spent 35 million on Gallagher because you sold Brennan Johnson for 35
Which is
million
that's
pounds.
how our transfers usually work.
Yeah, no, but that would indicate that there wasn't extra funds available.
There's
because it
always
was
funds
35,
available. This
35.
club has got the cleanest PSR, the cleanest books you'll ever see. That is one thing we are always in the green. We could spend 300 million and be absolutely fine, still be under PSR.
You don't.
We don't.
Damn. Would you want the club? Because if they were to sign more players, that's kind of a sign of backing Frank, isn't it?
I want to win games. If Thomas, I don't believe that Thomas Frank is the right manager, right? But then again, if Thomas Frank was to go and turn it round, prove me wrong. Prove the whole fan base wrong. Make me buy into something. The biggest problem I have right now is I can't buy into anything.
Yeah.
I tried, and for a few months I did. I said, I sat there and I said, we're better at set pieces. We're better defensively. We're not better defensively anymore. Yes, we're still better at set pieces, but it's not remotely. There's nothing for me to cling on to as much as I want to. I clung on to Ange and so many hopes and dreams for so long. It's up to the club at the end of the day. But if you're going to keep him, you've got to give him some tools. You've got to help him because, like I always say, it's not all on him. Like what he has inherited is what he's inherited. He's been unlucky with the injuries as well and the extent and the length of those injuries. But you sell Son. And you don't do anything on the
Did you
left.
get any money for Son in the end?
Yeah,
or how
I think we
much?
got about 20. I mean, about 20 million. So it was actually a good bit of business to
Yeah.
get
Wait,
Son.
I thought he just left.
No, I got 20. I think we got 20 million. Yeah.
Fact check it.
Oh, actually,
I'm pretty sure we got 20
Well
million.
done then.
Yeah, it's a good bit of business.
That's a really good
But
bit. Yeah.
MLS.
Considering he
yeah,
was 40
20 million pounds.
20
yeah.
million
He was
pound.
falling apart.
Yeah,
Record-
and it was
record
finished. But
fee
you've
at
got
the
to
time for MLS.
replace. You've got to replace Son. You have to get someone good on the left. Son,
Yeah.
and look, this is another thing where I do feel for Thomas Frank. This is the first time Tottenham have not had any good players in attacking areas, like world-class talent. For years we've had Son, Kane, Klinsmann, we've had Berbatov, we've had Defoe, we've had Ginola. The list can go on, right? We've always been known for, even if the rest of the team was crap, we've always had good attacking, front-footed, some world-class players drip-fed in and around a lot of the crap, right? And this is the first time we don't have that in those key areas going forward. And that is complete negligence from the top, as usual, as are most things at Tottenham Hotspur. And I just think you've got to sort that out on the left. We are completely unbalanced. You've also had players playing out of position. I think obviously you've worked Kudus into the ground because the option was Brennan Johnson. Thomas Frank didn't rate him. Obviously, it's bad timing with the injury, but you weren't playing to his strengths either. Kudus is great when he's able to cut in. You've just had him out on the wing trying to spam crosses in. So we did look a lot better, I think, for those last 15 minutes against Villa when Solanke was there. Obviously, the hold-up play is far better than the other options that we have.
You did, yeah.
But again, it's still going to be the same because you haven't got the quality around. They were looking, I think, at Tell going out on loan because I think he'd only had 3 or 4 starts. He wasn't even included in the Champions League squad originally.
So the latest on that is that they're blocking it.
Well, I think that's wise.
Yeah.
I mean, if you signed him, I
45 million.
would I love him to
Wasn't
do
that
well?
much?
Yeah, I'd love
Yeah,
him to do
45
well.
million.
Did he
No way it was
justify the
that
signing?
much.
No, he didn't justify the signing based on the 6 months
like
loan
30
spell.
mil.
30 million. Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
you're right. It was.
But he didn't justify buying the player off of the 6 months loan. And fair enough to teams like Chelsea when they had Jadon Sancho and was like, I've seen enough. No, we'll take the £5 million hit. I would like Tell to do well. I really would. I would like Odebert to do well. I want these young players that at least when they play, you can see they're hungry for it. They try. It's just a bit of a lack of quality there. But I want them to do well. I think sending him out, what would have been the point? Only because he was unhappy and not getting game time.
Yeah.
So they've got the opportunity. I was having this conversation yesterday as well about, someone like Dane Scarlett or using some of our youth. Like, they can't be any worse than what I'm looking at. Give them the opportunity. Give them their moment. Like, Dane Scarlett is not a child anymore. He's 22 years old. Doesn't need to go on another loan. If he's not good enough, then sell the
At
guy.
22, you kind of know, don't you?
Play him.
Yeah.
Play him. Because I'm sorry, if you've got no Richarlison potentially, or even if you have got Richarlison and you've got Kyle Mwani, he can't be worse. Play him. Give him a run. See, what's the point of having an academy and having youth and bringing them through and then hyping them up and saying they're the next best thing since sliced bread? They go on loan and they disappear and that's it. Like, I'd actually like to make judgment because at least they know what it means to play for Tottenham.
Yeah.
They've got a point to prove. I'm here for it. Play the kids.
Yeah, Masumo9320 says Spurs have spent £1 billion since Poch left.
When
Crazy.
did Poch leave,
What?
to be fair? What year was it that he actually left?
2019, 6.5 years ago.
6.5 years ago. It's £1 billion in because I think the Gallagher deal is the one that's tipped it over to £1 billion.
Precisely.
I wonder where that compares with the rest of the big six, though, in terms of would they be at the bottom of that, or
what in the last
6 years?
The
Yeah.
last
6.5 years,
6.5 years.
And also, if you look at the net spend,
yeah?
while Poch was there, he had a net spend of 0.
Yeah, but where was all? Yeah, why did
There's
Poch
there's so many factors as to why.
Is the
They didn't
stadium
have
a
a
big
new
factor?
You know,
stadium and
2
all
years.
that,
That
yeah.
2 years. You know, building the stadium. Yeah, that completely killed it. But look at what he was doing when it was so stale. Like, still got us to a Champions League final, still finishing in the top 4, and he had no reinforcement. Had a whole 2 windows without any transfers.
You had better quality players back then, really.
Yeah,
you had
but
the
we've
Harry
got-
Kanes and the Sons.
There we go.
and-
We had Dele Alli and we
yeah.
had Ericsson and whatever, and it was coming to the end of
Dele Alli.
some of them. It was not coming to the end, but it had gone stale. It needed an injection of life into it. But that's why someone like Sir Alex Ferguson always had it nailed on completely. Every time they won something, even if they didn't, every year it's just buying 1 or 2 players that are going to elevate the current squad.
Mm.
And it was always
Tottenham
from
never
the
did-
Premier League, by the
Yeah,
way. I know
and-
this
and-
is something you mentioned yesterday
yeah.
that you just never see Spurs do is buy from the Prem.
So rare.
Yeah.
So rare.
So Alex Ferguson pretty much always bought 1 or 2
But it doesn't.
Premier
You don't
League
have to
players.
go and get 5, 6, 7 players. It's just making sure that when you're at a high, it's making sure that you are proactive and just keeping it ticking over. 1 or 2 players, fresh
Yeah.
legs. That's it. That's how you maintain being in those good positions.
No,
We
I
didn't.
completely agree. But Ben, I've not really got your take on this yet. Is the 'cause I can't not talk about it. It's everything coming out of Real Madrid because after we obviously spoke about it yesterday, but after we spoke about it yesterday,
Yeah.
Jude Bellingham
Oh, go on.
came out with. By the way, apparently he's got his own app, the JB5 app.
But for what?
I've never heard about it
God knows.
before until this. But he's come out and he said, until now, I've let far too many of these slide, always hoping the truth will come to light in its own time. But honestly, what a load of word. Truly feel sorry for the people that hang on to every word of these clowns and their sources. He's actually put that in quotation marks. Do not believe anything you read. Every now and then, these lot need to be held accountable for spreading this kind of damaging misinformation for clicks and added controversy.
So, for
What-
context, what directly is he actually referring
Yeah, what is
to?
he
Is
referring
this the
to?
whole...
Basically, just everything that's been coming out in the last 48 hours about the players not caring about Xabi Alonso, being bored and tired of his tactics, not respecting him. Or
I saw
feeling that
the
he's
Guard
weak.
of Honor thing, but that's all I've really seen.
Well, so it's been a whirlwind 48 hours where a lot of the information is effectively claiming that Real Madrid's players didn't respect Alonso, didn't want to do training work. There was obviously as Kenny alluded to yesterday, there was the nutritionist who came in and recommended they stop having like a donut before training and everything. And they went, this won us 5 Champions Leagues. So we're going to keep doing it. This is the Real Madrid way. You shut up. You do nothing. We know what we're doing for the nutritionist and everything. And it's just coming up, basically saying, like they would complain to Florentino Perez about Xabi Alonso, and Florentino Perez went, yeah, fair. Obviously, I don't know if you saw the Vinicius Juniors thing over the last few months. They fell out, and Vinicius Junior said he wouldn't play for Real Madrid again. Then he issued a statement of apology, but then in the apology said nothing about Alonso, and the players apparently looked at that and went, oh, that's a sign of weakness on Alonso's part, and Mbappe basically controlling the squad and all. I don't know what you make of it, but it's been wild. And then Jude Bellingham coming out saying that it's all nonsense. The entire thing.
I don't know a lot of the ins and outs, but I think there's certainly a lot of very big egos in that squad and a lot of potential entitlement, which to an extent you could argue that some of those players have the right to be with the achievements that they've got behind them. But I think you look at teams that have been successful in the last decade, it tends to be the manager as the centrepiece of the club. Like you look at Guardiola at City, you look at Klopp when he was at Liverpool, no player there was ever really bigger than the manager. Whereas Real Madrid, I think, even when Ancelotti was there, it was like there's players that probably think they're more entitled than the manager, and that doesn't seem to bode well.
Yeah. It's mad. Like, I'm going through obviously like some Real Madrid aggregators at the moment, and so all the information from Real Madrid's side, like the Real Madrid sided journalists, all say it was mutual, or that Xabi Alonso asked to leave, etc.
Yeah.
And the Athletic have said that Xabi Alonso informed the club that his dismissal was wrong and unfair. He believes he was sacked because of the Galactico power. Like, I think Jurgen Klopp, by the way, with his comments, is spot on.
That's what Jurgen Klopp said.
Jurgen Klopp basically said, because he was linked with the job, and
Yeah,
Florian
he wouldn't go
Plettenberg
there,
came
really.
out and said that, you know, he'd be on the top of Real Madrid's list as a permanent manager. And then Klopp came out about 4 hours later and went, Alonso being sacked, Alonso going, shows that club is in a mess and I don't want to go near it. Is pretty much what he said to
Damn
Red
him.
Bull TV. And I think he's right. He is right. I think there comes a point where Real Madrid's players are... I said this yesterday. Some of them take credit for what happened in the past at Real Madrid. They take credit and go, "I'm at Real Madrid now, so I'm at the club that won 13. I'm the one with 13 Champions Leagues, whatever, on my thing, or how many man La Liga, or I'm the one with the previous Club World Cup badge or whatever before Chelsea won it and everything." And they're taking credit for what Rafael Varane, Cristiano Ronaldo, Casemiro, Modric, Kroos, Xabi Alonso did in the past.
Yeah.
And I feel like I don't know how they're going to fix it, but it feels, unless you're someone like Ancelotti or Zidane, who just had absolute...
Well, they sacked
ultimate
Zidane after
power.
winning 3
Yeah.
Champions Leagues in a row, wasn't it?
But didn't Zidane leave?
I'm not. Maybe
Or
it was a bit of both.
I think it was a bit. I think that was actually a bit of a Zidane wanted to leave, and I think now he's looking at the French job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think Zidane would be so good in the Premier League.
Well,
Love to see
they've
him in
got
the Prem.
Arbeloa now, haven't they?
Yeah, they've got Arbeloa at the
Yeah.
moment, but I feel like that's like a for now thing in the way like we've appointed Carrick. You know, we haven't appointed Carrick as an interim, like in terms of what United are saying. They've just gone, he's our head coach.
Are
But
you
it's- but
sure
it's-
they haven't said interim?
The word, he literally goes, Michael Carrick is our head coach until the end of the season. I find it really no interim, no caretaker, no nothing. I just find it quite funny the way
Do you
they
think that
phrased
they're
it.
looking at it from like an Ollie perspective?
I don't think he would accept it.
Why?
I feel like Carrick's best route here, and the one that he'll want to do, and the one that I think he should take, is if you can do a good job at United, you can stay at United and get us top 4 or get us top 5 until the end of the season. He then goes and he'll be snapped up by many one of...
He would, but why would he not
Premier
want to do
League
that at
clubs.
Manchester United if he did do that? I think
he's a
your fan base,
sensible guy.
I think you would all get way too emotional when you said
Oh,
he
yeah,
didn't.
yeah. Our fan base, that's a different story entirely. That is a completely different story. I'll be sat here singing
And also,
whatever song we make
from
for
a
him.
board perspective, it does keep it keeps the energy and the vibe a little bit higher for longer because you've got someone like Michael Carrick, who is a club legend.
Yeah, so the chat saying Zidane walked, yeah. I
would not rule that out if he does a good
I
job.
don't think
Long term,
that
I
it
don't think
would-
it's a good
I
idea.
know, but I don't think
I
that
don't
would
think it's a
happen
good idea,
because the reports coming out about the whole. Obviously, we picked Carrick over Solskjaer, right?
Mm.
Some of the reports coming out saying that some within United felt that going back to Ole was a bad idea because it was seeing what it was like, just going back to the past again. I know Carrick was our interim as well for like 3 games, but like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was our manager for like three and a half seasons, 3 seasons-ish, I think.
Yeah.
But some within the club reportedly felt like that was a bad idea to go backwards.
Well, I
and
can
back
understand
to it.
that.
So
Having your
therefore,
ex-manager be
I
your
feel like those
caretaker, yeah.
same players, those same people in the club would go, okay, we didn't want to repeat history by rehiring Solskjaer. Why would we repeat history by hiring Carrick?
Well, because Carrick might be a better manager than Solskjaer.
Yeah, but I do think at the moment there are also better managers out there than Michael Carrick.
Who would you like then? Who have you been linked with?
Who we liked and who we linked with the different stories.
Okay.
So Fabrizio Romano came out today and said that the 2 names that are definitely on Ineos's list are Thomas Tuchel and Roberto De Zerbi.
You think
Tom-
Tuchel would be untouchable, really? At least until maybe after the World Cup, depending on how that goes.
I feel like Tuchel's going after
Well, yeah,
the
he's
World
going.
Cup
He's
no
going
matter
the
what.
World Cup
okay.
regardless.
Yeah, I feel like he's there for this one World
he
Cup.
was there for a good time.
Even
not
if
a
he
long
wins
time.
it, I think he's still like he then
Yeah,
just goes.
yeah.
He doesn't stay
No.
at England, I don't think.
It wasn't
He'll be
a
going back to
long-term
club
plan.
football.
Yeah.
I would, like, in terms of my absolute dream, aside from the just incompetency at the top, at the board and everything, aside from that, is and has been for about 5 years, it's Luis Enrique. It has been for so long. I was talking about his name when we were, like, after we got rid of Ranić and after Ole was gone, I was like, I know, I want Enrique. That was
Why do you want Enrique?
Because he's an incredible manager. He's fantastic. He's brilliant.
How does he benefit Manchester United?
By being an amazing manager.
But what are his qualities? tactically? Does he play the style of football that you want to see? Like,
Yes, well, okay. Think back to his MSN team, right? His Barcelona
Yeah.
team. They won the treble. They won like 6 trophies in one season. I know they had Messi, Neymar, and Suarez, so that helps. But the football they played was incredible. He even at PSG, the football that PSG were playing last
They
season,
won
under
6
Enrique.
trophies last season, wasn't it?
Yeah, they also won 6 trophies. Like, the guy knows how to win. He knows how to play amazing football that focuses on, like, think about the players also that he had at the PSG team.
Yeah.
That was like the style of players that he had. He had Desiree Doué. And I know I'm talking about some of the best players here. That we don't have that level of players
Right.
at the moment or yet. But Luis Enrique, he didn't want Mbappe. He didn't want Neymar. He didn't want Messi, etc. at these teams again. He was balling with Desiree Doué. Barcola's amazing. He had Goncalo Ramos coming off the bench doing amazing things. He made Vitinha one of the best players in world football after we watched him in the Prem and thought, oh, that guy's a dud. Like Vitinha, Neves, like João Neves, another player linked to Premier League clubs. Everyone went, the guy's like 5'6", he could never make it. PSG then beat 4 Premier League teams on their way to the Champions League last season. I think Luis Enrique is just a stunning manager. One of the best in the world right now.
okay.
Easily.
So that's your first choice.
That if it was my choice, but it's completely untenable. It's like me... Actually, I'm not even going to finish that sentence. But that is completely untenable.
So what is a realistic
So
appointment?
realistically, from the list of names I've seen so far, it's slightly more controversial with the United fan base, but I do quite like De Zerbi. Because in the way of someone who would fit in what Ineos want, I think he did it quite well at Brighton. De Zerbi wasn't head of recruitment at Brighton or anything.
Yeah.
We see how Brighton operate, right? We see how Brighton operate in terms of they've got their recruitment guys who do the recruitment. They've got their owner who's very hands-on in the way Ratcliffe's a hands-on owner. I know I'd say Brighton's owner is probably better than what Ratcliffe has shown.
For sure.
But De Zerbi's shown himself to be someone who can work within a structure and like kind of he's on coaching the team and he works with the recruitment guys to find the right people to fit his mold, fit his system. And then obviously he's doing great things at Marseille at the moment. Marseille are absolutely flying.
Can have Greenwood back.
No. Greenwood nowhere near my club ever again.
Good
I
answer.
would absolutely no matter. I think he got like 3 goals and 2 assists in their last game.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Don't care. Nowhere near my
Don't
club
care.
ever again. Don't care, mate.
Don't care.
Don't care. But he would be one choice of mine that I like. I also quite like the idea of McKenna. I think McKenna's a very, very, very good coach.
Yeah.
Like obviously, I know Ipswich went down last season, but he brought them from League One Championship straight to the Premier League, playing great football. They went down last season, but still played great football, and they're looking to go. They're trying to go straight back up again this season. McKenna's another manager who I really like, but again, on the young side, and obviously the Al Amarim things made me very hesitant about younger
I
managers.
think you need more experience than...
Yeah, like I would say De Zerbi's got the experience that I wish maybe McKenna had. De Zerbi's done it in... Where was he? It was Ukraine. Was it Ukraine he was at?
I couldn't tell
I think
you.
he was at Dynamo Kiev, I believe it was. Played great football there, but then he came to the Premier League. It worked at Brighton. Now he's gone to France.
Do you think
another
that
very
De
physical
Zerbi
league.
is the right character to deal with your board?
That's the one place I'd have an issue with. But then I feel like any manager who's going to be good enough to actually try and get United off their back is going to be like that character. And the board are going to have to change. The board are going to have to change the way that Shakhtar Donetsk, thank you very much, production, from where De Zerbi was before. But any manager who comes in to try and fix Man United has to be bullish.
But
This is what I say, that I feel like it's ultimately anything is going to end in failure unless and until the guys at the top of United actually relax a little bit and give whoever the head coach is a bit more the agency that Ruben Amorim was asking for.
Yeah.
But rightly he shouldn't have got him, because we saw Ruben Amorim didn't deserve the agency because he won 15 out of 49 Premier League games.
So bad.
39% win rate. Xabi Alonso's been sacked at Real Madrid with a 70% win rate.
Crazy work.
And I was here being gaslit I was gaslighting myself into thinking it was okay
fully.
for like 3 months. I mean,
Yeah,
you
the
sat there
standards
and
of Real
watched
Madrid,
it.
though, are the highest anywhere in the world, aren't they? So it's-
Yeah, because our standards are on the absolute floor.
Yeah.
But someone in the chat says, good show as always. Really big up live at 5. Thank you, AX OG. Live at
you.
5. What a show.
What a
But anyway,
show.
yeah, I've spoken enough about United, I think, in the last 15 minutes, because there's going to be a lot to talk about ahead of the derby as well. The
Yeah.
derby on Friday, that's going to... Semenyo's going to... I tweeted yesterday, the Semenyo brace that I'm going to watch at Old Trafford
Fingers crossed.
is going to be diabolical.
Who've
And then we go to
Arsenal got?
Arsenal away.
Who've Arsenal got this weekend?
Forest away.
Us.
Oh, easy
But
win.
no, I think
Easy
it's a tough place to go. We didn't win there last year.
They're not the same Forest.
Forest are terrible.
Yeah, to be fair, that is true. Yeah. But
Even we
I
managed
don't know.
to get a
It's
point
it's
against
not
them.
the easiest place to go to.
I think you'll be all right.
Forest's last results, for context, it was their last 5 games have
Pretty
been.
sure
Well,
it's
so the last 6 games, they
Are
lost
we
to
the long-
Fulham, then lost to City, then lost to Everton, then lost to Villa, then beat West Ham, and then drew to Wrexham and got knocked out on pens.
Yeah.
These guys aren't good. Your run is a lot better than City's in the next 5 matches in the
I
Premier
was
League, isn't
looking
it?
at that.
Yeah, because I know. So your next 5 Premier League fixtures: Forest away, United at home. Again, that's 2 wins realistically. Like
I'm more confident for United at home than I am for Forest away.
Really?
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just
look,
a
I don't
potential
see us
banana
doing
skin,
anything
I
there.
think.
And then Leeds away,
Yeah.
Sunderland at home, and then Brentford at home. Like those fixtures are nice.
we played Brentford at home. Brentford away, it must be.
So Brentford away, yeah, you're right. Yeah, Sunderland at home, Brentford away. That list is a lot easier than Man City's, who have got.
Yeah, they've got Anfield and they've got
Was it-
Tottenham Stadium.
They've got United and then Bournemouth, I want to say, and then Wolves and then Spurs and then Anfield.
Yeah.
When they never beat Spurs, they actually could now.
Well, and the only
Thomas
time under
Frank could
Pep
be
they
be
beat
the
them.
manager that finally loses to Man City.
I'm actually.
Nah, they
fine.
did beat them at one
In
point
terms of
over
the bigger
last
picture, I'm
years.
actually okay with that.
What, losing to Man
I'm
City?
actually fine because it's
round 2 of what
I'm
it was in
absolutely
23-24 when they were supporting City.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, that was a crazy day. That was.
I'm okay with it.
Oh, there's some of the chat talking about Luke Shaw outlasting managers at United. No, I'd rather keep Luke Shaw than Diogo Dalot, bro. I'm angry with that man. But yeah, I think all focus obviously for do you want to see Arsenal get strong full strength team tonight?
Yeah, I mean, well, they had a rest on the weekend because it was 10 changes from the team that played against Liverpool, that played against Portsmouth. So I wouldn't be surprised it goes full strength. And then we got Inter Milan, which really, with the way the position we're in the Champions League, is sort of, as long as we beat Cairo at home, who I believe have lost like every single game. So that's not really a must-win. Whereas this game is far more important because we can still top the Champions League group stage.
Yeah,
playing our reserves hypothetically against Inter Milan. So I would want a full-strength team. Yeah.
And how do you feel about the links potentially seeing Martinelli potentially leaving? It's like iffy here and there links at the moment. But obviously, I think you guys are going to look for. I feel like you guys are going to look for another left winger.
Yeah, I think that's
you
what
need to. Would you want Martinelli, because he's obviously just scored a hat trick. He scored in every Champions League game so far. But then also since that season where he hit 15 in the Premier League a few years ago, he's not been fantastic consistently. Would you be alright with seeing Martinelli leave?
I think one of
Would you
Martinelli
wanna
or
keep him?
Trossard definitely go.
Oh, I think that's guaranteed.
And then financially, because Martinelli's the one that could recoup a bigger fee. So if the right bid comes in from wherever it may be, then I'd be sad to see him go. But I think take the emotion out of it, it wouldn't be a bad, footballing move.
Yeah, I hear it. Well, Big Caesar says we should have got Semenyo. Stupid decision to let City get him. I think every club is saying that at the moment, especially now with us going back to a back 4.
Also, it's where he wants to go. It's where he also wants to go as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I saw. Have you guys ever seen Cars?
No.
The movie.
I actually haven't.
Have you never seen Cars?
I know, very unlike me to not see.
Wow,
something
you should
that's
watch it.
Disney or Pixar.
One of my
What's the
all-time
reference
favourite
that's
things.
about to come here?
So, do you know that scene in Cars where
no, because we've not watched it.
No, but Ben does.
I think I've years ago.
Hopefully,
so I don't know
hopefully
if
someone in the chat knows this. But I saw a video about it of Lightning McQueen getting offered a contract to go to Dynaco. Who are like the big, like they're like the big
Right.
the big car sponsor in this thing, and they play in blue, and then McQueen doesn't go with Dynaco. He stays with Rusty's, and they play in red. And basically, the entire reference was basically Semenyo going to Man City just because they're the ones challenging, they're the ones that won the Premier League. Because this is what Semenyo said. He was like, I want to win the Premier League title. I want to win trophies now, which is why I picked City over Arsenal. Actually, Arsenal didn't even bid for it, but over United, over Liverpool, over Spurs, etc. And the whole reference was that him going to Man City is like when McQueen went to. Like if McQueen had gone to Dynaco. But if you guys don't get the reference, that's poor Pixar knowledge.
Just let him
Poor
cook.
Pixar.
Poor Pixar knowledge.
Poor Pixar.
Cars was my go-to as a kid. Watch it every single year still.
You have watched Toy Story, right?
Yeah, I've seen Toy Story
Okay,
as well.
just checking.
Yeah. No, I've
We
seen
get
it.
some score predictions for tonight or
School.
before-
Okay,
before
fine.
we
Back to the
finish?
football then. Is it for a...
Oh, we get 3 minutes.
No, I know. Shouldn't go on
Kenya,
too far.
don't come for me.
What's Kenya saying?
She said Abby doesn't know Peak. Who's Peak? Is he a car?
No.
Oh, as in I don't know.
Abby
it's
doesn't
Peak.
know Peak. You gotta watch Cars, man. Cars is one of the go. Oh yeah.
Do you know what's a
but yeah,
great
score
film?
predictions.
Inside Out. Inside Out.
I've seen
Inside Out's
that,
a
yeah.
banger.
Inside Out is so good.
Actually, I haven't seen the second one.
I
but
haven't seen the
apparently
second one
that's
yet
really
really
either.
good.
But
Yeah.
I would like to. I loved Inside Out, the first one.
Oh, Inside Out's amazing.
Brilliant
Yeah.
film.
No, Pixar movies, they're so good. Toy Story, Cars, yeah, Inside Out.
Monsters,
all-
Inc.
Oh, yeah, Monsters Inc. as
Monsters,
well.
Inc.
Have you seen all the Monsters Inc. Breaking Bad compilations?
I've never seen Breaking Bad.
What?
That's criminal. That one. That is.
You can't go on
criminal.
about
You've got to watch
binging
that.
at the moment and then not have watched Breaking
I haven't
Bad.
seen Breaking Bad, but recently people are like to me, you should watch Breaking Bad.
Yeah. Breaking Bad's an all-timer.
I know.
Absolute all-timer. That and Ted Lasso, two of my favourite shows
I've
of all
seen
time.
Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso's the GOAT, mate. Just not just because KG's on it, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but it's still. I'm rewatching it at the moment. It's still really weird whenever like his character comes up on the screen.
Yeah.
I go, that's KG.
That's KG.
I don't know, it's so bizarre. But anyway, yeah. So back to score predictions. I 2-1 Arsenal or 3-1 Arsenal. Especially if Palmer's out, Caicedo's suspended. I can't see anything else other than like a fairly decent Arsenal win here.
I'll go 1-0 Arsenal because I think we'll probably, if we get a lead, we'll just make sure that we can take
Shut
that
up
back
shop.
to the Emirates. Yeah.
The second leg will be much more interesting anyway. Like the first leg of the Carabao Cup semi-final was always a bit of a.
I'd quite like if it was just a one-off, like a one-off game played at a neutral ground.
I agree with that.
I
Like
quite like that.
making it, let's say, so City Newcastle played at Old Trafford or something.
Yeah.
And then obviously it's the two London teams playing against each other.
How
play
it
that
kind
one
of
at
used to
Wembley
be.
or something
of-
instead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like how the FA Cup is.
Yeah, so I think I said yesterday 1-1, and that's kind of like I haven't detracted from that. I felt that all week, but hopefully Chelsea
And
win.
no Caicedo or Palmer, it looks like, for Chelsea.
Right.
Which
Yeah,
is a big blow for them.
I think Rossini's got a job on his hands tonight.
Mm.
Immediately, by the way. 1-5-0 win. They've had their manager bounce in the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Right down to business now. But regardless, get your comments in the chat. Get your comments in the chat. Get your predictions in the chat. Let me know. We've got 2-1 Arsenal, 1-1. We got some earlier as well. I saw a couple 4-0s, a couple 3-1s. 2-1 Arsenal, 3-0 Arsenal. Joel, 3-1 Chelsea from someone here. I think you might be dreaming a bit there. But regardless, thank you guys so much for watching. This is, I'm Dylan, Abby, and obviously I'm not Abby, that's Abby. This is Ben as well. Thank you for watching live at 5 here, 5 till 6 p.m. every day on DR Sports, GFN Soccer TV, on Facebook as well, I believe as well. But, enjoy the game this weekend. I will see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. to discuss the result. Looking ahead to the weekend, I'll be joined by AGT and Laurie again. I will see you then.
Let's go. What do you do with yours? I do unlimited football content.
Well, I do unlimited bragging.
Well, I do unlimited swiping right.
Well, I do unlimited doom scrolling.
Well, I do unlimited sliding into the DMs.
Well, I do watching TikTok on the bus without headphones unlimited.
Oh, God.